Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. I put this post up when I was talking about the different side of the spine. Now, all through history in golf, that we've always been talked about, or we've talked about in golf, as the spine in itself being a singular. Let me lay these down. Being like a singular post that runs out of your back down into the ground, and what you do is you learn to pivot around it. But what I've come to understand, there's a much better way. Whether you call it Hogan's move, whether you call it Mo Norman's move, or whatever it is, but there's a much better way. It is an athletic move, and I'm telling you what, and it leads to, which is the best thing, it leads to almost instant results. And now I'm going to share this with you all. See, let's just use common sense. Let me get this stuff out of the way, put that over there. Whoa, baby. Let's just use some common sense. If I have two sides of the body, which we do, the left side and the right side, then that also means that I have two sides of the spine. And because I have two sides of the spine, then I create two pivot points, not the legs, but I create two pivot points of the spine. One going back that I turn around, the other one going back that I turn through. Now, if you notice, it's always moving me from side to side naturally. The problem is that once we try to load into this side, we may get stuck over here, then we got to push back to get back over here, and we just get too enamored of what the hip's doing. The turn is a simple motion, as Harvey Penick said, that's been made to be complex. And the reason it's been made to be complex is simple. It's not using creative visualization and being able to think outside the box. So as I said, if I think of my spine, because I have two sides, and I think about the rotation on each individual side, I got one here, and I got one there. I'm always being able to move from side to side. I never have to worry about getting to my left side or getting to my right side, because it creates a natural move. It's no difference if you're sitting and reaching for something up on the shelf, one way or the other. The body's designed in a sense to move that way. It takes pressure off of the spine, because once again, if you only think of the spine as one singular post that you're pivoting around, now you got to make up all of that pressure, energy, whatever you want to call it. You got to make it up in your legs, and what you're doing, you're robbing yourself of energy, speed, and all that, because now you're pushing up off the ground. All these things and whatever that you're hearing teaching that you just don't have to do. It's unnecessary when you understand what the true pivots in the essence of a golf swing is, or any swing. I don't care if it's baseball, it's still two pivot points. That's how you have to visualize it. You have two sides. If you have two sides, then whether you use creative visualization to understand it, there's got to be a middle. Something brings them together. And what we're doing, right, one side is always moving the middle, back and forth. And that's what we're doing. We're moving our middle. We're moving the middle of the body. That's where, where we can get to the golf ball. Let me show you. It's just like if I make my pivot, as I said, just like I described. Now remember, you've heard me talk about before that I consider that there's an upper body, which is your shoulder girdle, and then there is a middle body, which goes down to your to your pelvis, on down to your knees. But at this point, we're just going to the pelvis there. If I sit here and I pivot into my right side of the spine, that's simple. And then all of a sudden, I don't have to think about, am I going to do this? Do I drop this or whatever? Just for those out there who just want to make a swing to where they can at least play some decent golf, to where they can at least hit the ball, where they can enjoy the $500 drivers that they're buying, the $1,000 equipment that they're buying for golf clubs, the balls and all that. They want to enjoy it. And the better people play golf, the more money they're going to spend on golf. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Is historical. But because, yes, maybe somebody else knows about it, it doesn't matter. The point is, I'm talking about it. Now I know about it. But I know for a fact a whole lot of people don't, because they still teach to turn around a singular post, and all it does is lead to back injuries because now you're twisting the spine, and in this case, I'm shifting the spine from side to side. So if you notice, pivot there, strike, pivot there. It is the most natural pivot, probably an understanding of how you pivot from side to side to create a golf swing. Once again, look at my upper body, the shoulder girdle. See, as I pivot it around, see the energy goes down to here, not it, and then it naturally goes down to here and flows to that leg. I can keep it over here if I want. It doesn't matter because I've already made that pivot around that side of the spine. Then all of a sudden when I go down, I just pivot around the other one. Now, you don't have to make this big fancy swing, just the same as you're chipping, putting, whatever. You know, it's the same. You can make this pivot. It is as natural as breathing in a sense. Because remember, as I said, if you have two sides, then you have to have a middle. And if you have a middle, then each side touches the side of that middle. I'm not going to just say give this a try. What I'm going to tell you right now, this is Mo Norman, this is Ben Hogan, this is all these guys, this is Byron Nelson, whether they saw it or not. This is how you make a turn, whether it's baseball, whether it's field hockey, whatever it is. This is the turn of all turns. And I have no problem saying I don't think it works. I know that it works. And it's going to guarantee that it's going to work. Once again, this is Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the Shade Tree Pro, and always good golfing.